Hello everyone and welcome to our first high-speed rail drone footage video, starting in downtown Fresno, all the way to the San Joaquin River Viaduct. At the Tulare Street Underpass, which will allow existing traffic and pedestrians to go underneath the Union Pacific Railroad lines and the future high-speed rail tracks. On the west side, you can see asphalt is now being poured alongside new fencing that's going alongside the underpass to make it safer for pedestrians. Here we are passing Mono Street and heading into East Cesar Chavez Boulevard, which will be a 4-lane underpass that, as mentioned previously, will go underneath the Union Pacific Railroad lines and future high-speed rail tracks. You can also see here they have not poured the asphalt on the west side here, but however they've also put the fencing on both sides just like Tulare Street. Here I get a good angle representing how the underpass will look from a bird's eye perspective of how the train tracks of the old Union Pacific Railroad lines will look as a car goes underneath it. As we reach here, you will see the intrusion barrier, which is what helps a train, if it derails, not hit the other railway line, which is going underneath these two overpasses, and the one in front of you is actually brand new. It was the first ever high-speed rail structure to ever be completed all these years ago, and you can see how the intrusion barrier shifts as it goes near the Fresno trench, which we'll get into in a moment. Here we arrive at the Belmont Avenue grade separation. And as you can see, it seems that the concrete has now been poured on top of the structure and on the sides, which you'll see in a second, that they've now started placing dirt on both sides to form when a car would go up to the concrete diaphragm and then down, which means they're going along pretty dang nicely. And right here you can see more intrusion barriers, which has been here for quite a while. I've seen it for many years now. That's why there's quite a lot of graffiti on it. And right here now we have arrived at the Fresno Trench, which they've not really touched in some time. They've primarily been focusing on the overpass for Belmont, but you can kind of see how it will look from the little part that is completed right here. Here's where you can really see the concrete being poured and the dirt that I was mentioning earlier. And yet again, we have more intrusion barriers. This was actually done in the summer of last year, most of this, and it's pretty much done, this intrusion barrier. There's some parts that still need to have a wall in place, but for the most part, you can clearly see where the train tracks will be. And however, if you guys did not know, that dirt that where the train tracks will be was originally Golden State Boulevard. They've done a permanent road closure, meaning it will not come back, and it's now being replaced by the future high-speed rail lines. The timing on this couldn't have been better, and later in this video you'll see yet another train, which even blew my mind even more how this happened 2 times in a row. I was not planning this, and you can see it going underneath the Belmont Avenue grade separation, which really shows how a future high-speed rail line would look. This really shows how good my luck is. There is a train going underneath the San Joaquin River Viaduct in all of its glory. My drone can go up to 36 miles an hour, so I tried keeping up, but it's super cool. You can see the realignment of Golden State Boulevard on your left. The middle is where the future high-speed rail lines will be, which you'll see in a second. Most of it's been torn down, and yeah, the train's just going through right here, which is pretty dang cool stuff. Like, I promise I did not time any of this. To the right, you can see the new intrusion barrier wall that is being built near Veterans Boulevard and the new Golden State Boulevard to your right. Where the right-of-way of the train that you're seeing here was the original Golden State Boulevard. They've just torn it down recently and have already started placing the wall and everything, which really shows the new right-of-way that the high-speed rail lines get. And Veterans Boulevard and all of this new structures was in collaboration with the High-Speed Rail Authority to allow cars to go over the existing Union Pacific Railroad lines and the future high-speed rail line, and the wall really shows what the right-of-way will truly look like in the future. Here we are back after the train has passed the Veterans Boulevard Overcrossing and the new intrusion barrier wall, and I tried getting a little bit lower to where you can see the right-of-way in a better form, and I think I did a good job on that. You can see the new exit off of Veterans to get you to Golden State Boulevard, which is pretty dang nice. And yeah, you can clearly see where the old right-of-way is for Golden State Boulevard, and after they tore it down, it's going to be really nice seeing the future train tracks here. Here we have more of the Golden State Boulevard realignment, as the Golden State Boulevard road will be shifted west to allow the high-speed rail lines to be where the existing road will be. And you can clearly see that the new Golden State Boulevard is wider than the original, as the original is a 2-lane road, and this one appears to be more than a 4-lane. I could be wrong, but it's definitely a much wider road than what is there now. And finally, we've made it to the San Joaquin River Viaduct and Pergola section, which is the ending point of the Fresno section of the high-speed rail line going into Madera. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was really fun to make, and I've never done this before. This is my first ever high-speed rail flight. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more.